Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States, which is 10 AM if you're in Australia or 1 AM if you're in the UK. Do remember though, if you do miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch channel. I hope all you guys and girls are well. Sorry about yesterday, I was in the middle of the stream and my internet cut out. What can you do? I live in Australia and we have potato internet. So my apologies, it was right toward the end of the stream. I think we had about 15 minutes left, so it wasn't too bad. Yeah, everything cut out. No, I couldn't log back into Twitch to even tell you, so I did post in the Discord though yesterday after I got back online again, telling you that that was the reason that the stream cut out early. So my apologies for that, guys and girls. That abrupt end to the stream yesterday. But we'll soldier on today and hopefully the internet will hold up. Do remember, as usual, if you've got any questions while I'm working, please feel free to pop in the chat and ask. If you want to pop in and say hello, that is always welcome. But if all you want to do is watch, that is completely fine. We're going to continue working on the study for the house and the hollow. We're making the assets in Max, we're UV mapping them in Rhizome UV, and we are texture mapping in Substance Painter. We were getting toward the end of finishing the snake box for the study in Substance Painter yesterday when the stream cut. I didn't continue doing any work on that because I wanted to finish it off while I was streaming. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to finish texturing up the snake box and then we'll move on to a couple of other assets. So probably next week we'll end up jumping into Unreal to actually start setting it up depending on how we go today. So now I did make one change here. I've actually separated the snake's eyes so that we can assign a dual shader to them inside of Unreal. That just means we need to re-export this model one more time. Whoops. So that we can update our project inside of Substance Painter. So let's just re-export the model into our folder. Yes, I want to replace it. And jump straight into Substance. So this is where we got up to yesterday before the internet cut out. And we're going to continue with this now, but I'm just going to update the project so that we can bring in the new exported snake box. Everything else can stay the same. We'll just wait for Substance to reapply those materials. Good. Now the eyes are missing, but that's fine. We were expecting that. Alrighty. So let's have a look at the lid. That's what we got up to yesterday. Let's jump into our materials. Just before I do that, I'm just going to grab a quick drink. Alrighty. So what are we going to do for the lid? Let's make it a little bit more interesting. Actually, just before we tackle the lid, I just want to have a look at the wood part of the box here. I want to find where that is. That's down here. I believe it's this one. Yep, that's the one. I'm just going to see if I can't throw another material over this. We'll put it at the top of the stack and I'll move it in a minute. Let's have a look at this one. You know, that's not what I'm after. Let's try this one. No, that's not quite what I'm after either. Let's try this one. No, again, that's not what I'm looking for. fact, I'm just going to go into my other materials here and have a look at the woods. We'll just wait for substance to catch up here, encasing our material. Come on, substance, you can do it. All right, let's look at let's look at this wood varnished one. No, I don't think this is what I want. Let me just see if I know. Let me just turn off the height. No, that's not really what I'm after. Let's try the... Actually, there is a crackled wood. Let me see if I can find that. It's this old varnished wood. Let me see what that one looks like. Maybe this one will work. Smurfberry, it's good to see you, buddy. How are you? Again, my apologies if you're coming to the stream a little later for the abrupt end of the stream yesterday. My internet just cut out. Potato internet in Australia. What can you do? What can you do? So yeah, my apologies about that, guys. I'm just going to pull this down so I can see my stack a little bit better. I'm going to drag this down here. I'm going to group both of these together. So yeah, again, apologies for the abrupt end of the stream. And Smurfberry said in the Discord that it picked a funny time to go down because I was just saying let's do a save, and that's when it crapped out. Let's mask this with the color selection to the main part of the box. Now. Let us play with our mixing a little bit, our blend mode. I wanted the wood to look darker. That's sort of what I'm going for here. I just felt that the original was just a bit too light. So what I'm trying to do here is just darken it up a little bit. I'm just going to play with my scaling as well. I might even turn the height information off. Because we want a nice dark wood, richer dark wood. Smurfberry says darker is nice, but yeah, that height information is way wrong. Yeah, we turn the height information off. We'll keep the normal information so we can see a bit of the crackling in the wood. But no, turn the height information off. And we could even knock it back a little bit. In fact, I might even go to the normal intensity here, and I might just pull that back a little bit as well. Nope, too much. It's just we've got a lot of layers going on now. Like there's multiple layers within each of these folders. So it does take Substance Painter just a little while to catch up when we're working. That's better. We pull back on the normal to about half. Just to make the wood a little bit darker. Alright, let's just do a save. Yep. Just pull up just a little bit on this. I think that's better, just a little darker. Alright, let's tackle the lid. So let's do a save. I am still streaming, aren't I? Yes? Good. And let's find something interesting for the lid. What are we going to go with? I don't want to go with a wood. I probably really don't want to go with a metal, although a metal might look okay. Let's just see if we've got something else that might be a bit more interesting. Let's have a look at this one. No, that's not what I'm after. We could actually even go for a leather on the lid if we wanted to, but not for this part of the lid, maybe for that bit, but so let's just undo that for the moment. Man, Substance is a bit slow. She being a bit slow and temperamental, there we go. Substance slow? Nah, never, Smurfberry says. Yeah, that's right. I love the program, but it's got its quirks that are really annoying. Number one quirk. When you want to do a bake out, it defaults to material color and not Vertex ID. Annoying. Number two quirk. Caching of these materials when you're scrolling through. Annoying, because it loses its cache for some reason. I don't know why. I've increased the size of the cache and stuff in the program. It makes no difference. So it does have a few quirks that are a bit annoying. Let's have a look at this tortoiseshell material. I'm just going to mask this with color selection to the lid so we're not distracted by everything else. Okay, and we're going to play with our scaling a little bit. Let's go to 6 on that one. No, not 65. Come on, don't be annoying. 6. 6 and 6. 6 is too much. Let's just play with these a little bit. Turn this so we can get a better look at the box lid as well.
About to do something, scared of the outcome. I'm sorry to say this, but you aren't good for me. I'm about to change it all, about to cut you all off. Sorry if you get hurt by.
I just want the lid to look a little bit more interesting than like a metallic or a wood grain. But why stop at one layer when we can put multiple layers down? I say more. Which is the reason the program starts to slow down so much, because I like to get really nuts with my layering. So what else can we throw on top of this? What? In fact, I might just jump back to my materials here, my normal materials. Must be something here. Something that would look nice as an overlay. Come on, there's got to be something. Let me just jump in here. I just want to see if there are any adjustments I can make on these. Not really. That's a shame. Alright, so I'm going to have to try and find something I can use to overlay. I was hoping that there might be an option for me to change, make adjustments to colour. If there's, and there's not, there is another way we could get around that by doing a different blend mode, which we might have to do, because I can't seem to find anything here I really like. Just going to look at this frosted. Just going to undo that. We'll throw the frosted on. We're going to move it into our layer. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. Let's just make some adjustments to our scaling here. I'm going to turn off the hide information. We're going to put both of these into their own group. I'm going to do a save. I don't trust the program. We're going to mask with color selection once it's finished saving out. There we go. To the lid. Now let's see. Let's try doing a mix. Let's see what a mix gets us. I like the fact that it's turned the tortoiseshell red to more of an aqua green. Let's see if we can throw a smart mask on this and get an interesting effect. So let's look at the surface worn. Maybe pull up on the blur. Not sure that this mask is actually doing what I want, so let's find something else. Maybe it might be better. going to clear out remove the black mask. In fact, what I might do is duplicate that group. And on this one, let's change the tint. Not the tint, sorry, the mix. Turn off the hide information on the duplicate. I'm going to turn the normal off on the duplicate as well. And now what we can do is we can group both of these together. Let me just turn that off so I want to get a comparison good. We can group both of these together. Again, we're going to make sure we're masking just to the lid. Now we can look for a smart mask, and let's go back to the surface wall and let's see if that one will work now. Android Lust, hey Android Lust, it's good to see you again. My apologies for yesterday's abrupt end to the stream. My internet cut out. I did post on the Discord server because there was some stuff in the gallery I wanted to show yesterday, and I will do that today at the end of the stream, so remind me if I forget. Because there's the crab that you posted, and it's like looks like whoever posted their car yesterday has removed their car, or is it in the wrong section? Nope, there it is. Confusion, my apologies. I want to show Confusion's car as well. I might actually move Confusion's post to the gallery section from the folios and demo reels. I see Smurfberry has told Confusion not to post it there. He knows, I told him yesterday, but so I might just move that over myself, actually. If I can. Can I do that? Let's try. I've not actually moved these sort of posts before. Let me see. No, it doesn't look like I can actually move the images that Confusion posted, which is annoying. Oh well. Never mind. Anyway. So yeah, I do want to show those. Android Lust says, yeah, I thought it was my internet at first. I have something better than the crab for now. Oh, cool. Oh, I see your post. Oh, nice. Nice. I will show that at the end of the stream. Remind me, Android Lust, if I forget. I was intending to show yesterday, but yeah, my internet cut out. I live in Australia, you know. We do have potato internet here most of the time. I shouldn't say that. My internet's been pretty stable. Yesterday was probably the first time while I've been streaming where I've been cut off. My internet just completely dropped out. It was gone. It was gone for about an hour and a half. So, what can you do? Because yeah, I wanted to I wanted to show both your work and Confusion's car work as well, because he asked my opinion on it, and I really did want to give him my opinion, but I just couldn't. Luckily, it wasn't a crash. No, it wasn't a crash. It was my internet went down. I had my modem sitting virtually right in front of me, off to the side. But the first thing that I noticed was OBS flashing red over on this side. Then I looked at my modem and all my lights on my modem were gone, so that tells me my internet was completely down. They've been doing a lot of work on the network, the internet, the national broadband network in this country recently, because everyone's been working at home. So the internet, the national broadband network is run by the government at the moment. It's a government thingy. It's not a private company. And they've been making a lot of changes to the network to cope with everybody working from home. Which makes sense, I guess. .76 on the hue. Now I'm just playing with the hue here to see if I can get a mix that looks a bit more interesting. Let's also play with the level. It's Android Lust says that's a beautiful blue for the top. Yeah, I thought I wanted something contrasty in color a little bit. I'm just going to play with the hue on this level. Just to bring up a little bit more of the bluey green. Okay, let's look at this central piece now. What can we throw down there? And like I said, I didn't do any work on it after my stream cut out because I wanted to finish it on stream for you guys. I didn't want to start the stream today saying, there's our box done, when we hadn't actually finished it yesterday. What would be good for the top? We could go with a metal. We could go with a leather. We could even go with a wood if we really wanted to, for this central piece here in the middle. Probably based on the design of the rest of the box, probably a metal would look better than a wood or a leather. Let's do a save because, you know, don't tempt fate, and wait once it's saved out. Let's have a look at this one here. Actually, just before I drag that in, I want to make sure I'm at the top of my stack. And let's mask with color selection to the middle. That could be good as a base, but we want to throw a couple of layers on this as well, so let's see what else is good. I just want to see what this one is. Now this might be one of those really heavy ones. There's a couple that are incredibly heavy. Let's group both of these. Again, I'm just going to wait for Substance Painter to catch up. And let's mask with color selection to the lid. Let's try a different blending mode. Let's also look at throwing down a smart mask. Let's look at the subtle scratches. I'm going to turn off I'm getting a bit confused here with all of my layers. I don't think this mask is actually the one that I want. Let's see. Let's see if we can't play with it a little bit. Yeah, I really want to try and find the right layer. It's proving a little difficult. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. Okay, I think it's this one here. I think it's this one in this one. And then it's this one in this one in this one. You see what I mean by layer upon layer upon layer? I like to go nuts. Okay, and it's this one within this one. And then it's this one within this one within this one. And I'm just going to turn off the hide information. Simply because this bit through here, with the hide information on, it just looks a little heavy. What I could actually do is I might jump into the height layer, sub layer. Is there a better way for me to do this? Let me just think about this for a minute. Yeah, instead of doing it that way, let's see if we can do it through the general settings. Either way will work, but it might be better if I can do it through the general settings. No, we'll go back to the way I was doing it. Go back to the height. Again, I've just got to wait. And substance is just being a little bit sluggish, that's all. Just so we knock it back a little bit so it's not quite so in your face. That's one crusty box, that's right. A crust. You're terrible, Smurfberry Barbecue. It is one crusty box, you're exactly right. A very, very crusty box. You're so rude, Smurfberry, you're so rude. Okay. I'm just going to jump back up our stack now. We can close all those down. Again, I'm getting a little confused here because I've got so many layers going on. Close those down. Let's see, I'm looking for a particular layer, which is this one. Euro, evening Euro, it's good to see you, buddy. You had your caps lock stuck on, did you? It's good to see you, Euro. Hope you're well. So it's this layer within this layer. And it's okay, it's this material base within that group. I'm just going to change the color. Desaturate it a bit. Let's just keep going up our stack here and make changes to the others as well. Euro says, yeah, just got done playing more GTFO. You like that game, don't you? You play it all the time. Which is cool. Not judging, just commenting. Keep going up our stack here. We have to change a few of these colors because it was set to more of an orange and I want it more of a blue. Euro says, yeah, I have a few nights where we get together and play it. It's hard. It looks like a cool game. It's something I should check out. It's been a while since I've played any games. I just don't get a lot of time anymore. I'm actually going to turn that layer off. That layer adds like a bit of roughness to it. I don't think that bit of the box actually needs it. I think smoother is better. Okay, let's keep, in fact I'm just going to remove that layer. Why keep it there when it's not going to be used? Yeah, I'll keep that layer on. Now I'm just sort of moving around my box to see if there's anything I wanted to change. Actually, what I want to do is I want to throw an overall dirt layer on everything. So let's do that. But before I do that, we really should do a save. Okay, now back into my materials. There is a material, there is a substance paint. It comes with a built-in dust smart material. Now, I don't tend to use it a lot because I just don't like the look it gives most models. I mean, some models it works better than others. I normally do dirt and dust a different way, so that they give you a dirt one and a dust one. Let's have a look at the dirt one. So I'm going to throw that over the top and I want this to be applied to everything. Let's see. I wouldn't generally ever use it like that because that's just terrible. Sometimes you can play with the mixing mode and get it to look better. I mean, it's really dirty. Just seeing if I can make some adjustments. Not sure that I can. I tend to do dust a different way. Let's look at the mask. So we can pull back on the mask. We could pull up a little on the global gradient. It's just a strange sort of dirt texture. I don't know if it was made to be placed on models that are larger. I mean, that's possible. It's a weird sort of dirt material. I mean, it might look better on a larger object than a small box like this, but I generally find it just adds a real weird looking dirt layer. You can make it work. Where am I? By changing the mixing mode and pulling back on the blend. I think I might be in the wrong layer. No, I'm in the right layer. Still not seem to be having an effect. Why is that? It's the right layer. I'm in the texture. Edward says, I'm not sure if I ever use that Dirt Smart mask. Yeah, no, I don't tend to use it because it just does give you a really... I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying when you apply it to small objects like this, it just seems to go a bit overboard. Like I said, we can sort of like knock it back by changing the blending mode. If I can find the right layer. That's very strange. Why are you doing that? Still is. This is the one. This is the one. No, this is not the one. This is the one. Oh man. Let me undo that. I accidentally deleted it. Did not mean to do that. Okay, this is the one. We can sort of, instead of having it at full blast, we can knock it right back. So it just shows up a little bit. Probably see it most through there. That's an option. We'll keep it there, but let's see if there's another way we can do a blend. So I tend to do it this way. I like to throw down if I can find it. I think it's this one. Again, let's just give Substance a minute. And again, I'm just going to do a quick save here just to be on the safe side. Mr. Squarepeg and Zofo, it's good to see you both. Hope you're well. I like the snakes. Thank you, Zofo. And hey to you as well, Mr. Squarepeg. So what I'm going to do here is I want this to be applied to everything. I'm going to change the mixing mode though. This is not mixing the way I thought it would. Why is that? Why? Hang on, there's something strange going on. Why is it mixing like that? Oh, I'm working in the wrong channel. I'm in the height channel and I have to be in the base color channel. That will help. You're doing good, Mr. Square Peg. Good to hear. Okay, now we're in the color channel. Changing the blending modes will will do what I want it to do. So I'm just going to go through these now. See if we can't find a blend that'll work. Okay, let's go back. Okay, now let's group. Let's look at a smart mask. Look at this surface worn one. So this is generally how I tend to do like a dirt dust layer. Jump into the mask itself. We seem to have more control over it than that dirt smart material that comes with Substance Painter. And then what I can do is I can pull back on the mix a little bit. So we just have like a general overall dirt dust look to the box. There was something else I wanted to change that I noticed that I quite liked when I added that, and that was on the snakes. So I'm going to try and find, I'm just going to do a quick save, I'm going to try and find the snakes layer, because they should have their own layer. If I did my job correctly, there we go. So I'm going to open up that layer. We have 3 layers within that layer. So what I'm going to do is close that group, go back to our materials, again throw down that material we were just using, which one? I think it was this one, wasn't it? I think it was this one. I'm just going to throw it down here in the layer stack. Yep, that was the one. I'm going to group both of these layers together, so we're going to group within a group within a group. And again, I'm just waiting for Substance Painter to catch up. Good. Now I'm going to mask that new group with the snakes layer. I just like the pattern that that material gave to the snake here. You can actually see the scales a little bit better. Just helps to make the snake stand out a little bit more if we blend both those together. And I like the colour it gives to the back of the snake as well. So the front of the snake is like a gold, and the back of the snake is more of a green tarnished sort of looking material. And so we've added our dirt layer, we've given the lid this, I don't know what you call it, blue, green, aqua, glassy type look. I don't actually think there's really anything more we need to do to the box, to be honest. I think we could probably call the box done. Remember, we're going to have a jewel here and jewels for eyes inside of Unreal. So, I was going to say, I'm just wondering if that's a bit too bumpy, but I think it's probably alright. The lid, that is. Okay, let's do a save. And let's export the textures into the correct folder. Snake box is cool. And size is correct, so let's export. Right, one more save and then we can jump back into Max. And what are we going to work on next? So we managed to finish the box even though after yesterday's crash at the end of the stream. Hellforge, good morning to you as well. My apologies for not seeing you sooner, Hellforge. Hope you're well, hope you're doing good. Hope you're staying out. I'm not sure where, I'm not completely sure which of you guys are in the US and who is in Europe and all that sort of jazz. But if you're in the US, I hope you're behaving yourself, you're not looting or anything. Because those riots have been pretty bad. Although I see today the protests are very peaceful, which is good. Let's jump back into Max. We have our box done, so let us pick another asset. Hellford says, I'm doing alright, thanks. Hope you're doing well too. I am doing well, thanks for asking. I got an early night's sleep last night, so instead of going to bed at 4 AM, I managed to get in bed last night by, I think it was 1:30 AM. So, early night for me. Hellford says, I'm in Sweden, so there's nothing crazy going on here. Good. Okay. Alright, now let's see what else. What else can we work on? Okay. I did forget about the lighting in the study. We do need to create lights for the room. So I want lights for the walls and I want a light for the main ceiling, in the middle of the ceiling. If we were being lazy, we could reuse the sconce lights for the walls that we made for the bedroom. And we could reuse the ceiling light that we made for the main entry hallway. But I want to give each room more of a unique look, and reusing assets that we've used before, while makes life easy, it doesn't make each room look unique. So I do have to be careful though, because I've said to you guys, I can't keep throwing new assets in the level, because it's getting to the stage now where I don't want people to have 11 gig graphics card to be able to play the game. We've got to keep it to 6 to 8 gigabytes max. So I have to be careful how many assets I add. There are ways to get around that by doing level streaming and all that sort of jazz. So if we start to go over budget, I can look at trying to do that. So. Smithbury says, how's the weather in Sweden? Halford says, too bloody warm. I want snow in winter. It's nice and cool here. I like winter in Melbourne, in Australia. It's nice and cool. Doesn't snow, unfortunately. I wish it did. Android Lust says, honestly, I believe this is the biggest protest and riots America has had in a while. I've never seen anything like it. I was watching the news again this morning before I started the stream, and they were showing the protests in all around the US, but particularly in California, I think it was. Might have been LA. And they were huge. There's huge numbers of people out on the streets protesting. And yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've seen protests before over the years. Every time there's someone dies by the hands of the police unjustly, allegedly unjustly, because it hasn't gone before the courts. But what you can see in the video is pretty terrible. So I've seen riots before, but not in the numbers that are out now. There are huge amounts of people. Smithbury says, I got acclimated to San Fran weather. Give me wild weather and fog. I thought you were on the other side of the US, Smithbury. I thought you were over the New York side. Are you saying you used to live over the California side? So I know you moved. I can't remember where you moved from, so maybe that's what you mean. Euro says, wind, burn and hailstones. Mr. Squarepeg says, this is the biggest protest we've ever had. Bigger than the 1992 riots, to be honest. Euro says, protests in all 50 states. That's a lot. Yep. There are a lot of people protesting all across the United States, or from coast to coast in the US. Pardon me. I need stronger glasses, do I? Why do I need stronger glasses? Okay, so yes, lights. So I want to bring in a unique wall light and a unique ceiling light. We just so happen to have ones that we created back for when we were doing the bathroom. If you remember when we were doing the bathroom, I actually created a light that we were going to put on the walls. But I decided that when we actually started setting the bathroom up, because we had lights either side of all the mirrors, we didn't need the lights on the walls. So we can reuse those. Now, we didn't texture them up, and one of them isn't even UV mapped, but one is. So if we look at the wall light, I think the wall light was the one we UV mapped, this one. Now, it's typical 1920s style, so it's pretty hideous, but it's period, so... Hellforge says the main difference, I think, is the fact that now we can watch the protests in almost real time. Previous riots and protests were not nearly covered with live streams and live news reports, and we've got social media and everything now too, like Twitter and Facebook, so, information gets spread like wildfire. So you're right, Hellforge. Mrs. Squarepeg says, sorry for the bad language, by the way. What was the bad language? Android Lust says, very true, Hellforge. Also, social media spreads news like wildfire, pun intended. I agree with peaceful protests. I think that's your God-given right as an American, and it's my God-given right as an Australian as well. Peaceful protests, do it if you want, but do not loot and do not burn. Do not destroy. That's not going to get your message across anyway. That's just going to make people not want to listen to you if you start burning things down and you start looting stores. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Behave yourselves if you're going to go out and protest. Don't loot, don't burn. Because just don't do it. Don't do it. Mr. Squarepeg says, hell, when Salt Lake City is protesting, you have screwed up really bad. Fix the language, okay. Oh, it's alright. So yes, this I believe we have UV mapped. I'm just going to double check. Because, we created this when we were doing the bathroom. Yep, it's UV mapped. I'm just going to check Vertex Coloring. Not that it needs a lot, actually. Does it need any? Yeah, maybe 2. Let's just check vertex color. Okay, now it's not vertex colored, so let's just do that real quick. Gonna collapse my stack.
Stop hitting me.
So I think I want the rim and the base to be one type of material. So let's make that a yellow, I guess. I want the wall plate that it attaches to, and probably these little standoffs. We have this bit in the middle. Let's do this. These little standoffs, let's make them their own color. So let's just make that a green. I'm going to do an select invert, so I don't have to select each one of these little rings individually, because that's a nightmare. And let's make them their own color. So let's make them blue. Alright, so 3 colors, 3 different types of materials for this light. The cylinder itself will be glass, and that'll be a glass shader inside of Unreal. Now in here we do have this holder, which is for the actual light fitting. Basically with this light, a light goes in the top and a light goes in the bottom. I'm just trying to decide if I want that in there or not. Look, I may leave it there simply because it'll be a good visual reminder to me when I put the light in the in UE4 that we need to add a bulb in the bottom as well as the top. And just in case the player ever does walk in the level where they might be able to see up there, we also want to make sure that the light bulbs aren't just floating in the air. So we'll leave it there. It's not a heavy poly object anyway, so it should be fine. It's not adding a lot to the poly count. So let's make that its own material as well. It actually looks like it's a separate object, I think. Or maybe not. Or is it? Is it or is it not? Yeah, it's separate. So I'm going to attach it to the rest of this light. And we're going to select it and make it its own color. So let's make it, I don't know, let's go with a purple color. Android Lost says, I believe there were even protests in Canada. Yes, there were. I believe there were as well. We've actually had protests in Australia, but not so much for. It's for like, it's protesting for our Indigenous peoples in this country, called it, the Aboriginal people, and because we've had a lot of them dying in police custody as well. So it's sort of like piggybacking on the Black Lives Matter in the US, but more related to our Indigenous population, our Aboriginal population in this country. Because we had protests here in Melbourne yesterday or the day before. So it's happening here as well. Which is a good thing, because these people do not deserve to die. If they break the law, fine, arrest them, but don't kill them. Euro says there's been protests at US embassies in Europe. Yep. And like I said, there's been protests here as well. So it's happening all over the world. Okay, so that's attached to that, that's attached to that, that's all good. It's all vertex colored, which is good. The cylinder will be kept as a separate object, at least until we export it to take it into Unreal, because that'll be a glass shader. So we don't need to bring it into Substance Painter, it'll just get in the way. Mr. Squarepeg says there were protests in Japan a few days ago. Yep, it's a worldwide thing. And so it should be. We should all be concerned with people dying unnecessarily. Let's turn off object color, vertex color I mean. Let's do a save of the project. Now we can export the model. We're going to call this, let's get into the right folder first, lights. We're going to call this brass wall light. This one shouldn't be too difficult to... Let me just have a look at why it's complaining. I'm just going to isolate that object. I think it's this material here, so I'm just going to reassign the material to the model, which is just going to be a plain color. Let's export it again. No, it's fine, it's happy. That's good. It's happy, I'm happy. I should say I'm happy when it's happy. We saved our project. Let's create a new one. And let's load up the brass wall light that we just exported. Even though I set that to 2K in the project, I may save out the texture at 1K. I don't think a wall light probably will need a 2K texture. Alright, bake out our maps. And again, I do a bake out at 2K, but we'll probably save materials in 1K. Or the material in 1K. Use the low poly as the high. Actually, I might have to go back. I don't think I UV mapped that. I don't think I packed the UVs correctly. I'm just going to check. I'm just going to remove the ambient occlusion. Jump back into max real quick. And throw an unwrap down. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think I did a repack when we attached that central piece, so I just need to get Max to do a repack. You can usually tell when you've had that problem when you bring the model into Substance Painter, the ambient occlusion won't look right. The ambient occlusion layer when you do a bake. Android Dust says, I'm hoping it will change our justice system. I hope so too. I hope it does. Both there and in this country as well, because we've had problems, like I said, with Indigenous people in this country when they go into police custody dying, unnecessarily dying. So let's re-export the model. No one deserves to die. Let's update our project. Let's rebake out our maps. You see now the ambient occlusion's on there, but it doesn't look odd. But I don't actually need the ambient occlusion. I'll leave it there, but generally I don't need the ambient occlusion anyway. Alright, now let's rename the material layer to brass wall light. And this shouldn't be too difficult to texture this up. It's just going to be metal. Nah. We could make that wood if we wanted to. I don't know. Wood or metal. So that wall plate will be metal and these round circles will be metal, but we could make the top and the bottom ring wood. Let's have a look at what wood looks like. Why not? I'm going to mask. Wrong layout. Mask that with color selection. Stop touching your face, Philip. Okay. We forgot to change this when we did a bake out, so we must make sure we change the ID map from material color to vertex color. So annoying. Let's rebake them again. Why you changed this, Adobe? It was fine the way it was. We're going to mask it to the top and the bottom. Okay, let's pick the rings next. Let me find something that might be cool. You see how the program is much more responsive now because we don't have a model that's got like 50 quadrillion layers in it, like with that box that we just did. Let's look at this one. At least as a base. I'm just going to remove the blank layer at the bottom. Okay, let's throw another one on top of that as well. Let's look at this one. Okay, let's group both of these together. So that we can mask with color selection on the group. To the blue. Now we can throw a smart mask down. Let's go with, let's look at the surface rust. Which, you're right, I hope it changes the justice system as well. Let's just give it a bit of a mix between these two. Zopo says, Phil, what do you do with these models when you're done? Well, they stay on my hard drive pretty much, and that's it. I'm making them specifically for the game, so I won't probably be reusing them for anything else. So they'll just, but I won't delete them or anything. I'll keep them on my hard drive in its own subfolder. Because the sort of work, when I do ArchViz work, the way I'm texturing these models up for the building is probably not, they're not going to be suitable for the sort of ArchViz work stuff that I have to do. And unless I make another game where I could reuse some of the assets, yeah, probably just, I'll keep them as on my hard drive, but they're being made specifically for the game, so. I mean, I could reuse the model and retexture them to use them in my ArchViz work, but because I'm texturing them up for the game, and I'm texturing them up to be old and dirty and all that sort of stuff, they're not suitable for ArchViz stuff. The textures aren't anyway, but I could retexture the models for ArchViz if I needed to. Yura says, I hope it improves justice in other systems around the world. It's not just a problem in the US. No, it's not. It's a problem everywhere. Zopo says, anyone notice sometimes when you bake an ID map in Substance Painter, the edges are blurring? Oh, there's an easy way to fix that if you're baking an ID map. Well, actually, you're talking about the actual bake out itself. If that's what you mean, then I'm not sure how to fix that. But if you're talking about the actual mask itself that you're applying, the color mask, play with the tolerance value here. If it's not applying to the correct material ID color and it's going too far in the model, that tolerance value will fix it. But if you're talking about the actual bake out, yeah, I'm not sure. I've seen that problem where it does blur on some models. Generally, it's not been a problem while I've been exporting from Macs, but I have seen that problem before. Okay, so now we just need to look at the wall plate, and for the wall plate I want it to be like a really shiny brass. Because why not? Either a gold or a brass. Let's look at this gold. Again, let's mask it to the wall plate. Probably don't need to get too carried away with texturing that up, although I might just, because why not? Because I can, why not do it? We might just throw another layer down just to get a bit of a mix going on. Let's have a look at this one. Don't know. Ignore the rest of it. We're only looking at the wall plate. Maybe. Let's group these together. And again, mask with color selection just to the wall plate. And let's throw down a smart mask. Let's look at this dirt soft edges. Let's do an invert. Bit of a blur. Let's look at the balance. I just want to make it a little less shiny. I still want a bit of shine, but to make it look a bit more aged. Okay, let's look at the piece in the middle here now. Now, I'm going to make that a plastic, I think. Was plastic around? I don't think plastic was around actually in the 20s. I think plastic's like a 50s invention, isn't it? 1950s. Bakelite. Let's do that. So it looks like plastic, but it's not as shiny as plastic. So we can still go with actually I might even go with a ceramic. Yeah, I might do that. So let's throw that down. And again, let's mask with color selection to the light fitting. It's going to be covered anyway with glass, so I'm really only leaving it there so I know where to put the light bulbs, and in case the player walks up to the wall and can see up the light fitting. But they're not generally going to be looking at it too closely because it's going to be from like a distance at least like that. So. But what I might actually do is I might just duplicate the layer because I just can't help myself. It's unnecessary, but why not? Because I can, I should, and I will. I'm going to group both of these together, and on the one that we just placed above it, I'm going to change the mixing mode to a multiply, so it's just a little bit darker than the one underneath. And I'm going to throw a smart mask down. We're just going to go with surface worn. And again, I've got to make sure I'm masked the color selection just to that bit there. And we're just going to play with the balance here between these two. Just so we're getting a little bit of a two-tone colour happening on the ceramic. Ayura says, Levels is my favourite substance image tool. Let's play with this. Yeah, so all I'm doing here is just getting a bit of a blend happening between the two different coloured pieces of ceramic, so it doesn't look flat. As I said to you guys, don't make your stuff look too flat because it's unnatural. Just adds more interest if there's a bit of variation in colour. Okay, and I really don't think that there's much else we need to do here. I could do something with this. I'm actually noticing. Yura says, I didn't have a black on white marble substance the other day, but I had darker ones, so leveled them. Yep, no, levels is good. Levels and blend modes, love them all. It's very Photoshoppy. That's why I like Substance Painter. I guess maybe that's why Adobe purchased them from Algorithmic as well, because the way that the original Algorithmic guys, when they created the program, set it up is very Photoshoppy with your layers and your mixes and all that sort of stuff, which is a good thing. Because if you're used to working in Photoshop, it's a good thing. Okay, I could add a bit of edge wear on this. Okay, that's that layer there. Let's have a look. Why not? Smart material. Actually, it doesn't need to be a smart material. I'm just going to choose a plain material. I'm going to jump right down to the end and wait for Substance Painter to catch up. Come on, you can do it. And we're going to throw down this beechwood honey. And I'm going to throw it in my stack. Yeah. We actually do have a beechwood honey layer here, but what I'm going to do is group that group with this group. Again, we're going to do a mask just to make sure it sticks to the right part of the model. And I'm going to play with the scaling. Actually, I'm going to turn off the height information because we don't need it. I'm going to go into my smart masks. Which one do I want? Euro says, my drawing tablet arrived today. Cool. Spent a few hours doodling with it in Affinity earlier. Gonna play some more tomorrow. Nice. Nice. I remember have you used a tablet before? Just curious. When you first start using a tablet, it can be really hard for a little while just to get used to using a pen. But trust me, just after a couple of weeks, so long as you keep practicing it, you'll get the hang of it. It's sort of it's like riding a bike, you know. It's hard at first, but once you've done it a few times, it becomes easy. So tablets can be like that. Don't get discouraged if you find it awkward initially using one of these pens, because after a while it becomes second nature. Yura says a long time ago was more of a PDA. Yeah, so again then, cool, yeah. Don't like I said, it takes a couple of weeks to get used to using a pen. So if at first, just keep using it, and after a while, it'll be fine. But I remember when I first started using a tablet, using a pen after coming from using a mouse all the time, just felt weird and strange and hard and awkward, but that all goes away. And you get much finer control when you're working digitally. Euro says, this one is responsive, pen is smooth as butter, no lag. Nice. Android Lust says, I hated my tablet at first because I used a Cintiq at school. Well, we all want a Cintiq, but you know, you're looking at least $1,000 for a Cintiq. I'm not saying, which is very nice. They're very nice things to use. If you can afford one, get one. If you want to get one. But look, a normal tablet will work just as well. It really depends on the sort of work you're doing and how much you want to spend, I guess. Let's look at this soft edges one. I'm just going to play with the curvature balance. Now this is not doing what I want it to do, so I'm going to remove that and look for a different smart mask. I'm just going to clear out the mask as well. Let's look at the edges strong scratched. This is probably giving me a little bit more what I want. I'm just going for a bit of damage, a bit more of a damaged look on the edge of the thing here. Now this mask is quite nice because it does give you a lot of scope to change your edge damage. We don't want to pull in too much, we just want a little bit of edge damage. And I also just want to change the underlying colour, just to make it a little bit darker. That should be good. We don't want to get too carried away. Save as in the light fittings. Like this is brass wall light, wasn't it? Andrew Dust says right now for a normal tablet. Euro says mine was only 70 quid. I don't want to go all in on something new, but so far so good, having fun with it. 70 quid's pretty decent. That's very decent actually. Depending on what brand you buy, Wacoms can be a bit exy. I mean, they're very good. I use Wacoms, but or Wacom. I still think they should be called Wacom, but I think the proper pronunciation is Wacom, which just sounds weird to me. It's the levels of sensitivity. That's really what you got to look for. So, like, 2048 levels of sensitivity sort of thing. That's what makes using the pen really smooth. The higher the sensitivity, the smoother the movement when you use it. So any tablet from any brand, so long as it's got good sensitivity levels, will be fine. Don't fall for the myth that unless it's a Wacom, it's not worth using. That's just marketing crap. That's Wacom marketing rubbish. Having said that, Wacoms are good, but you don't need a Wacom. Smurfberry says, I'll say Wacom until I'm dead. Well, I think Wacom is the way. When I say it, I say Wacom, but I'm pretty sure I've seen on Wacom's own website where they do videos, they call it a Wacom. And you have to say, if the video is on the official Wacom website, that's how they want you to pronounce it. But I'm going to say Wacom. Bugger 'em. So I'm with you, Smurfberry. Euro says I went for a XP pen. Wacom is too pricey. Yeah, and again, that's what I mean. Wacoms can be exy as far as costs go. And they are good. Don't get me wrong, they're good. The drivers and stuff are very stable, which can be a problem with some of the cheaper tablets. It's the drivers more than anything. But having said that, you don't want to go spending a fortune on a tablet if you're not going to if you're just not going to like using it anyway. But you only won't like using it initially. That's what I'm saying. The more you use it, the better you'll get at using it. So, and it does feel weird if you're not used to it to use a pen initially. It does feel strange. Hellforge, there's a Steam link, and for the game, the game is what we're working on here at the moment. I'm working on the assets for the House on the Hollow game that you can wishlist on Steam there. If you click that link that Hellforge just popped in Twitch chat. Thank you, Hellforge. And that's the Discord as well if you do want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord. I should mod you, shouldn't I, Hellforge? In fact, yeah, I might do that. I might mod you, Hellforge. Do you want to be a mod? Smurfberry is my moderator, and he's very, very good at what he does, which is cool. But Sniper Echo and Sniper Girl haven't been in the streams recently, and they're both moderators as well. So. Andrew Dust says Wacom sounds better, but I think it's actually Wacom. Yeah, I agree. I like Wacom, but I think the correct pronunciation is supposed to be Wacom. Helpwood says, figured I'd give it a tickle. Euro says it has 8192 pressure sensitivity levels. Well, that's pretty good. And 266 reports per second. Battery-free pen 2. Well, battery-free pen is cool, but all of the Wacom tablets are battery-free. None of these have a battery in them. You want to try and get one that's battery-free for sure. Because there's nothing worse than working away and the battery running dead. So all the Wacoms, there are no batteries in the pen. And 8,192 pressure levels is pretty good. Pretty damn good. Helpwood says up to you. Really don't mind either way. Cool. I'll look at that after the stream, Helpwood. Are you on Discord, Helpwood? I'm just, yeah. Are you a member of the Discord server, the Build Us 3D Discord? I'm just not sure if you are or not. You are? Cool, okay. Alright, you keep an eye on the Discord server. There's a special hidden channel for moderators. So if and when I moderate you, you'll have access to that channel. So you'll know if you've been modded. If I mod you on Discord, I'll mod you on Twitch as well. And if I mod you, you'll see in the Discord server a special sub channel called moderators. So anyway, let's keep going. So let's export this material. Blow the dust off and try some 3D sculpting to Zopo Android Dust says. Let's export textures. Now again, I'm going to probably export this and instead of it as a 2K texture as a 1K texture. Should be plenty big enough. Make sure we are in the right folder. How are we going for time? Okay, cool. UE4 projects, models, study, chosen, likes. Brass wall light, cool. Export. Save settings. Save the file. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to save this in complete setup by grouping all the layers into one layer. And I'm going to rename this layer brass wall lights or brass lights. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to create a smart material from that selection. I don't know if you can see it's sort of hidden probably just behind me. So it's just created that smart material. Make sure we did a save. Now I'm going to jump back into Max. I'm going to resave this model. Actually, I'm just going to make sure that that glass has its own unique material. So I'm just going to change the color of this one to make it a bit of a blue. That going to remind me that it's meant to be glass. Cool, that's good. I might just rename this brass wall light glass. And this one is brass wall light. Cool. Now I'm going to, actually before I do that, I'm going to make sure that the UV mapping on this is correct. And that looks good, except it's not within the 0 to 1 UV space, so that would cause a bit of an issue when we bring it into Unreal, so let's fix that up. There we go. So now I can attach both of these together. And re-export the model. When this is the one I'll bring into Unreal. And we're going to call it brass wall light underscore COND for condensed. That's just my naming, so I know what it is. And that's the one we'll bring into Unreal. But now let's open up. We need a ceiling light to match this. So we have this one here. Yes, you can save. So this is the same design, but in a ceiling version. So the first things first is we need to UV map this one. This one hasn't been UV mapped, so let's jump into Rism and do that. And it needs to be an edit poly, otherwise the plugin complains. Okay. Let's start UV mapping and let's break it up to UV map it separately. It'll just be easier. Isolate. Now you see how sometimes the program can really do weird things when it tries to do an unwrap? Let's undo that. So sometimes the automated tools are just bizarre. That's a better unwrap. It's not perfect though, so let's fix it up a little bit. We want to stitch that. We want to stitch that one. We want to stitch that one. Stitch that one. Stitch that one. I need to leave one cut line. Okay, there's one there, that's good. So we stitch that one. Same with the middle, let's stitch that one. And that one. And that one. We do need to leave one though. Okay. Let us get it to pack. Show. Let's select the top. Isolate. Let's see if we can do an unwrap. Same deal. It's sort of lost its mind a little bit when it does its automatic unwrap. Nothing we can't fix up though. Okay, the model actually has bulbs here. I'm going to remove them, but we'll wait till we jump back into Max. Let's select that bit. This should be quite an easy unwrap. Alrighty. Let's look at the bottom. Nope. Not a terrible job. Bit of stretching happening, but I could probably live with that. We could cut it. I don't think I'll worry about it. This is going to be metal, and you're not going to see a tiny bit of stretching, which is what that slight red color means. I think it should be fine. Which now just leaves all of these circular bits, which are a real pain. I'm just trying to think if there's an easy way for me to select them. I don't think there is. I'm just going to have to do it the old-fashioned difficult way. Really is annoying. I think that's all the ones on the outside. Now it's got to worry about the ones on the inside. No easy way to do this, unfortunately. We're just going to have to do it bit by bit. I think that's all of them. The bulbs are included here, which I'll leave, but I'm going to remove them when we jump back into Max. So let's go into isolation mode. So we, okay, let's jump out of isolation mode. I need to I can't remember what key it is. It's been a while. Which key is it? It's none of those. Right. Isolate. Select. Invert. Show. Isolate. Oh man, don't do this. Select, invert. Okay. And now we're going to see if we can't get it to do an automated unwrap on all these terribly complicated little pieces. Don't know that this one will work. No. Let's try this one. Again, the mesh is very odd. It's like a difficult thing to UV map anyway. That one's not working either. Well, this one will probably be the one we'll go with. We do have a bit of a problem on these two. Android Lost says it's okay, blow the dust off and do some 3D modeling. That's right. 3D sculpting. Hellboard says, I don't recall if I asked yesterday, but is there an easy way of dealing with the visible UV seams that show up after using the matte finish rough filter in a material in Painter? So when you use the filter, you're showing your UV seams. You've got to try and hide your seams basically on the edges of the model, as opposed to like in the middle of the model. Sometimes you can't help it. There's no easy way to hide it. The best way to do your UV mapping is to actually hide your seams in places where they're not going to be seen on the model, like around the back sort of thing. If you've watched my channel before while I've been texturing up the furniture, you'll notice that I tend to hide my seams. Like say it's a leg of a chair, I hide my seam at the back of the leg of the chair so that you don't see it. So you just got to try and hide seams that way, or try and put them only on the edge of a model, on the edge of the geometry. But aside from that, yeah, there's no easy way that I'm aware of. And it'll depend too on the size of the seam on the object, and sometimes it can be the normal map that causes the issue. So maybe try looking at your normal mapping or your normal map to see if that, like, try turning the normal map off in Substance Painter and see if that removes the seam when you're adding that the matte finish rough filter. And if it does, then see if you can get away with either knocking the normal map back, or maybe doing a little bit of adjustment to it in a paint program or Photoshop or something. Android Dust says, I would hate to UV that. I would too, by hand. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't want to do this by hand, man. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. Again, we're getting a little bit of stretching here, but nothing I think I want to worry about. So let's show, and we should be UV mapped completely now. So let's send it back to Max. Alrighty. I do need to UV map the actual glass part as well. So I'm just going to edit poly, row down and unwrap. I don't know if I'll even take this into, and that should be fine. I'm not even going to take it into Substance Painter. Into Rhizome UV. So all of that is done. Now there are these light bulbs here that I want to remove. So I'm going to throw down an edit poly, select the bulbs, because we're never going to see them up on the ceiling. They're just adding unnecessary poly count. So we're going to get rid of them. Looks like it left a few little bits and pieces behind here. Why did it do that? I'm going to go into sub-object mode here. And that's the right one. Just trying to find an angle here where I can select these errant bits a little bit more easily. So we want to remove that. And those ones. Not that one. And there should be one around here maybe. Maybe not. No, I think we're good. Okay, let's jump back out of sub-object. Collapse my stack. I'm going to get Max to do a repack here, so I'm just going to throw down an unwrap UVW, select everything and get it to pack it. And I think we're good. I think it's good. Let's save the model. Let's export the model. We're going to call this one a brass ceiling light. I did forget to do a vertex color, so let's do that really quick. Object properties, vertex color. Collapse the stack. So we're going to make the top its own color and that its own color. So let's just make that yellow. We'll make this bit and the central piece here their own color. So let's make that purple. So now I'm going to select these. I'm going to do a select invert. And we're going to make that its own color. So let's make that a green. And I think that means we've colored everything up. Looks like I've got a couple of floaties happening still. So let's fix those up. Oh, hang on, that might just be a shadow actually, I think. Yeah, no, that's okay, that's just a shadow on the glass. Alright, vertex colored, UV mapped, we should be good to go. Yeah, so let's turn off vertex coloring, export the model, brass ceiling light. Jump back into Substance Painter, create a new project, load up our ceiling light, everything else should be fine. Okay, and now we can call this brass ceiling light. Now we can throw our smart material we just created for the wall version. We're going to have to make some adjustments. It's probably, I forgot to do a bake out, so let's bake out our maps. We now that remove the blank layer at the bottom, go into our folders here. Color selection, this is the wood. Let's remove the original and pick And again, I didn't do a bake out with the right. Oh, you're annoying. We have to change it from material to vertex color. Bake it out again. Healthforge says, I prefer not to look at my normal maps. I have enough nightmares already. Zopo says, do you add smart masks to fill layers? Yes, I do. I do add smart masks to fill layers, yes. We're going to mask that to the wood. I'm just going to go through here and anytime I've used a mask to a particular color, I'm going to have to swap it out for the right layer. So we have the wood on those bits. This bit. What was this one? Is this the... I think this is the circular pieces. Let's find out. Yep. And then that just leaves these, which we can use, the wall plate we'll use to match this one up. So that would be... should be... let's remove that, pick color to that, and remove that, pick color to that. Actually, no, that one's the ceramic, so we don't want that. In fact, we don't need the ceramic. And this one, which is this brassy one, we want to pick color there. Hang on, I'm getting confused. Phil's getting confused, which is not hard. Okay, that's right. That's right. That's right. Hellforge says, sounds like you need some coffee. I do. I need the coffee. Okay, so this one. This one. That's that layer, so that's fine. I think it just means we just need to make an adjustment to our smart mask. I just want to pull up a bit more on the gold on this. That should be good. I might just make a small adjustment to the mask on the wood, which will be I think it's this one here. Just going to pull up a little bit more on that. Because the model's bigger, so the values we were using for the other asset need to be tweaked. Alright, that should be good. So let's save this as brass ceiling light. Export our textures into the right folder. Shades and lights. And again, I'm going to export this as a 1K texture. 1K is plenty big enough. If we find it's not, we can always come back and resave it, but 1K will be fine. Let's export. Android Lust says, I could use some caffeine right now. I could too. Alboard says, do you export the mesh as well as the textures or just the textures? I just export the textures from this. What I'm going to do now though is just make sure I do a save, jump back into Max, and I'm going to re-export the model again here, but with the glass attached to the model. So the one we've just been working on inside of Substance Painter is just the light. But when we bring this into Unreal, I want to assign a glass shader to the glass part of the light. So I'm going to make sure that the glass part of the light is a separate material by changing the color. Just visually, it's easy to visually remind me that that's glass. I'm just going to call this one brass ceiling glass. So when we bring it into Unreal, it's got its own correct name, and this one's going to be brass ceiling light. So now they're all UV maps. I can just attach the glass to the light and re-export it as brass ceiling light _COND for condensed, and this is the one I'll bring into Unreal, the one that has the glass attached to it. So COND, and we are done with the lights. Save Max's file. I just wanted to quickly look at the work you guys have posted in the gallery. So we're going to start with Android Lust Crab. Remember, join the Phil Does 3D Discord if you haven't already. If you want to know more about me, go to phildoes3d.com. So my username with a .com on the end. But this is the crab that Android Lust. That's very cool. I love it. I love the texturing as well. Nice job. Really nice job. Beautiful work. But he also did post an image here of another render that he's done, I think, using the crab. Copy link. Which is this one. I love it. Your character works wonderful. The expression on her face is great too. Beautiful work. I love the look of the water. I love the crab hanging off the end. And I love the expression. Again, the silhouette. Beautiful work with silhouettes, beautiful work with texturing, and really nice modelling as well. Always do nice work, Android Lust. Even down to the water dripping off here. Love it. It's a good render, isn't it? Yes, Android Lust has done a great job. I just like crabs, to be honest. I don't eat seafood. I'm allergic. If I eat seafood, then I have to be taken to the hospital. It's serious. I have a bad allergic reaction to any seafood, so I don't eat crab. I don't eat prawns or anything like that. I can't. So I just like crabs too, Android Lust. Mercury says, you know what this render needs? Gerald. Yeah, who's Gerald? The seal from Finding Dory. She reminds me of Moana. I automatically thought Moana when I saw the character. I think even though Moana has long hair, maybe it's the setting, the sea setting. It reminded me of Moana. The seal from Finding Dory. Gerald. Finding Dory. The seals that are sitting on the rock outside of the marine park you're talking about, aren't you? Yeah, they're a good movie. I like Finding Dory. I like Nemo as well. They're both good animated movies. But beautiful work, Android Lust, as usual. I did want to have a quick look too at Confusion's car. And my apology, Confusion, for yesterday. I know you're probably not in on stream today, but my internet cut out yesterday, so beautiful. I really like the colours that's going on this turntable, but the car is beautiful. He's done a really nice job. And despite what Android Lust says, I do not hate cars. I do not hate people that model cars. I just, like I said, don't fill your portfolio full of cars. But Confusion has done a really nice job modeling the car up and texturing it up too. It looks really cool. My only critique initially would be, are the windows meant to be that dark? I mean, I know cars can have tinted windows, but the windows just look too dark to me. That's just my initial impression. Android Lust says, I've never seen that car in real life. It's a nice car. But I don't know, maybe it's meant to be tinted windows. But even for tinted windows, I don't know that they'd be quite that black. So yeah, I love it. Love it, Confusion. If you're watching back the stream at another time or on YouTube. But I just think that the windows, maybe do something with the shading on the windows, the colour and stuff. That would be my only criticism, I think. But everything else I love. Love it. Great job. Yeah. Hellforge says, could be super reflective glass with that black background. Yeah, that could be true, actually. You could be right, Hellforge. Hellforge is saying it may look blacker because he's probably rendering it out against black. So if you put a HDRI background in, you may get more reflection, which will lighten the windscreen up. That's a good point. So black gets reflected in the window. Yeah, you could be right. Android Lust says it could be to hide the inside if it's not modelled yet. That could be true too. That could be true. There are ways to hide that anyway, though. If you don't have modelled interior and you do want semi-transparent glass windows, you can get around it other ways. But it could be true. Hellforge says, I had a similar issue in a work in progress render earlier. Yeah, that's a good point. If you're rendering reflection and you have a black background, your reflection's going to look very dark. So anytime you're doing reflection in a render, you really always want to be using a HDRI background. It's easy to load one up in the 3D software and whatever you're using, and it'll give you really nice looking reflections, because it's going to be taking all of the lighting information and the scene from the HDRI background to put into your reflection map. Android Dust says, put the black background, but the black background could affect that too. Yes, it could. So yes, beautiful work from all you guys. And I love the crab and I love her. And I love the expression. Beautiful work, Android Lust. I think though we might leave it there for today, guys and girls. Again, remember, if you do want to wishlist the game, The House in the Hollow, which you've seen me creating assets for today on Steam, you can click the graphic in my panels or type !Steam in Twitch chat at any time. Don't forget too, you can join the Phil Does 3D Discord server by typing !Discord in the Twitch chat or clicking the graphic in my panels below my stream. You can follow me on Twitter at Phil Does 3D if you want a reminder when I'm going live, because I always post to Twitter when I go live, although my schedule never changes. Well, usually not unless it's a work thing. It's every Monday and Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States is when I'm live. There is a countdown in my panels below my stream or above my stream, depending on which Twitch layout you're looking at, which is a countdown to my next live stream. Yes, you can go to my website, phildoes3d.com, if you want to learn more about me and what I do. But I want to thank you guys and girls very much for hanging out with me, being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will be back again on Monday next week. You guys and girls have a great weekend. Stay safe. If you're going to protest, but don't loot or riot. You guys have a great weekend, and I will see you all again on Monday next week. See you guys.